Morning everybody, Sam here, United People's TV and Manchester United People's Person Facebook page with today's MUFC Daily. Last night, Manchester United 2-0 winners over SL Benfica at Old Trafford. We're top of the Champions League group, 4 wins out of 4. We are cruising towards the knockout stages of the Champions League. But there's a bit of a weird story going around at the moment and a weird vibe with Jose Mourinho and the fans. I don't really understand what's going on. This is not me picking a fight with Jose Mourinho. This is not me trying to bully him or me trying to hide him, me trying to dig him out for anything, but I'm very confused as to what's going on right now. And this all started leading up to the Tottenham Hotspur game. As you can see, there's an article you can see on screen now, which is pulled from Paul Wilson, who's writing for The Guardian. Now, this is all about some interesting comments from Jose Mourinho before and after the SL Benfica game. And it all started really before the Spurs game when Mourinho said that fans need to support and get behind Lukaku and just support him. He may not have scored in a couple of games, but support him. Now, United fans have supported Lukaku. That's never been the case that we haven't. But the interesting development came next when apparently some United fans booed Mourinho's decision to take Rashford off instead of Lukaku against Spurs. Lukaku then got the assist for Martial's winner. Mourinho vindicated for bringing him off, but then the shush gesture came. Who was that aimed towards? Nobody knows. Mourinho hasn't said. But Mourinho knew what he was doing. He was adding to the story. Now, in the pre-match programme notes from Jose Mourinho ahead of Benfica, it's always, as Paul Wilson points out, it's always a very cliche message from the manager saying, thanks for supporting your team. Get behind them. Can't wait to get 3 points. Jose Mourinho chose to say, I hope you enjoy the game more than some of you did against Tottenham Hotspur. What is going on right now? Is Jose Mourinho picking a fight with some Man United fans because he feels that they're not appreciating Man United's style of football, that they're not appreciating what Manchester United are doing at the moment? I'm unsure, but for me, it's a bit confusing. Before we get into the story anymore, let's give a few shout-outs straight away. Got Nithin George watching from India on YouTube and Nicholas Myers watching from Barcelona as always. Good morning. Patricia watching from Romania. Taita Andreasen watching from school. Nice, I like that. Paul Zeno watching from Nigeria and Jamel watching from England. How you doing, mate? Azim from Pakistan. Let's go to Facebook and see where a few you guys and girls. We've got Afrim watching from Kosovo and Keith Robinson watching from Dublin. Good morning to you all. I want to know what you think about these Jose Mourinho comments. Is he picking the wrong fight with Manchester United fans? Is he picking a fight at all? Because I understand and I know that Jose Mourinho does this sort of thing, but Jose Mourinho typically does this when his clubs aren't doing very well, when there's a reason to be frustrated. But right now, Manchester United, second in the Premier League, top of the Champions League group, in the League Cup. Everything is going hunky-dory at the moment. Yes, some of the performances aren't living up to expectations of United fans after our blistering attacking football earlier this season, but with Paul Pogba out, Man United are dry. We have no creativity from midfield. Mkhitaryan's in poor form. That, alongside Paul Pogba's injury, means Man United are very weak at the moment in midfield. That's leading to some poor football. Romelu Lukaku is finding himself very isolated up front because nobody can find him. Nobody is delivering the through balls that Lukaku needs to score those goals. But that's the only reason it's not even a reason to get frustrated. With United winning when we're playing shit, that's the hallmark of a championship winning side. I've always said it. There was a chant we used to do on the Fergie saying we're shit and we're top of the league. United aren't playing shit. It's just that right now some of the performances are just a little bit under par, but the results are still coming. Stuart Martin on Facebook saying that he is a perfectionist. I'm not sure if the word perfectionist is what I'd use for Jose Mourinho, but he is meticulous and he wants things done his way. Maybe that is exactly what a perfectionist is, but maybe that's where the clash is coming from. United fans expecting attacking football 24/7, but we're not going to get that. We're never ever going to get that under Jose Mourinho, and everybody surely knows that as well. Evil Befall on YouTube saying fans are just concerned. I'm a concerned fan. I don't know what's going on and I don't know why it's happening. Daniel O'Neill saying Jose Mourinho is not for United. He is changing our style and our tradition in attacking football. Jose Mourinho is the perfect manager for Man United right now, Daniel. I think we need someone that's going to bring stability and bring silverware back to Man United so we can re-establish ourselves as that top club in England. Once we can do that, that's when we can start being arrogant with the style of football that we're doing. But against certain teams, we should be playing attacking, breezy football. And Benfica at home last night in the Champions League was probably one of those games. Huddersfield away was another one of those games. Didn't come in either of those matches. Monarch Shah saying, as he said, we should keep calm and relax. He's under pressure. It's for our own good. He always does well under pressure. It's Jose Mourinho for you. But I can understand some of the concerns that United fans are having. It's exactly why I wanted to ask all of you guys and girls what you think about it. Jonathan Torrens watching right now. How you doing, Jonathan? Nice to have you on, mate. Got Marek watching from Melbourne. Jonathan McBride saying, what other manager in the world is better than Jose? He is a winner. He's certainly one of the best in the world, but he's living up to expectations in the drama that comes around the football. This Jose Mourinho, as I said, we knew this was going to happen, but I'm just a bit surprised it's happening at the time when Man United are going good. Man United are doing okay. Everybody on the pitch, yes, there are performances which aren't living up to expectations, but the results are still coming, and that is what matters. Paul Zeno here saying Mourinho should listen to criticisms, whether constructive or not, because there is a sense in every nonsense. I mean, physically there is a sense in nonsense. But Jose Mourinho is not a man to really listen too much to what anybody has to say. That's his style. Mourinho is very, not insular, but maybe insular is the right word. He's so focused on his own drive and his own way of doing things that he doesn't listen to other people too much, or criticism from the media. But all this reaction, he's certainly listening to somebody at the moment. Frederick Eriksson watching from Sweden. Langeni watching from Tanzania. How you doing, mate? True United fan saying whatever he speaks, he gives us the results. And that is something that United is certainly doing right now. We're a results-driven team at the moment. But early this year, we were all about attacking. I've said it loads of times. 4 goals against Crystal Palace, Burton Albion, CSKA Moscow, Swansea, West Ham. 5 games, 20 goals, firing at all cylinders. Pogba's out of the team. We coped with it at the start. Now we are desperately lacking Paul Pogba in midfield, and the sooner he comes back, the better. Got Prijamek saying sad that Andreas Pereira is on loan right now. He could get some game time. He could. I do agree with that, but he'd be sitting on the bench for a lot. Bassarin saying Pogba's absence is affecting Manchester United. He absolutely is, mate. Andy Ditcherin saying, love you, mate. Got a lot of love for you, Andy, too, saying Pogba is missing so badly. And Mourinho is still Mourinho. Mourinho won't change, ladies and gentlemen, anytime soon. So don't try and make him change, because he won't. But as Nickel there is saying, the mark of a good team is when you're not in good form, you still get the results. And it's exactly what United are doing right now. But Chelsea away is coming up next. I think in the last 7 games we've played there, we've lost 6 and we've drawn 1. Man United, Anfield away, for me, is still the hardest game of the season because of what it means if you win or lose. But Stamford Bridge has been our bogey ground for a long time. Dating back to whenever Mourinho was there and Fergie was manager, we struggled. We absolutely struggled. Jonathan Torrens here saying Arsenal have always played the best football to watch over the last few years, and I'm sure their fans would swap that tag for a trophy. 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. You can't have your cake and eat it. Arsenal fans, they absolutely love the style they play. But Jonathan's right. They don't have that plan B, that tactical versatility to play differently when they need to. But Manchester United, defensively, we're extremely hard to beat at the moment. Benfica didn't score, Spurs didn't score. Clean sheets galore. I think David De Gea has conceded 4 goals in our first 10 Premier League games this season, something ridiculous like that. That is a Jose Mourinho side, first and foremost, extremely good defensively. Pep Guardiola, he is an attack-minded coach. He builds his teams on winning by scoring 3 or 4 goals, no matter if you concede 2. It's a different style, a different philosophy from 2 different managers who are brought up differently in their own footballing cultures. And that's what you want. You know, Italians play different to English teams who play different to German teams. You can't have everybody playing the same exciting football. But Man United fans have just got to accept that Jose Mourinho is not going to change. He won the Europa League last year, won the League Cup last year, and now we're going well in the Premier League and we're going well in the Champions League. They're the 2 trophies that matter. And ultimately this season will be marked as a success or a failure according to what silverware Manchester United get. But Mourinho, I'm confused by these comments and this almost a fight he's trying to pick with United fans. I think it's unnecessary. I think at a time when things are going wrong for the club, I can understand those sorts of frustrations coming out. But United fans have always been behind United. Even when David Moyes was manager, even when Falcao was absolutely pony, he still got cheered off on his a standing ovation he got in his last game at Old Trafford. David Moyes hardly ever got booed. Did he even get booed? He got that stupid plane that went over. But no, that's not what United fans do. We don't boo. We may boo on occasion here and there, but overall, it's not our ethos as fans. So I'm just confused as to why Jose Mourinho is trying to pick this fight when I don't think he's going to win it. Got Paul Zeno here saying, if Matic gets injured, our season is in trouble. Let's get a defensive midfielder come winter. Something I want to say, I said it last night in the match reaction to the Benfica game. Scott McTominay did very, very well. And I think Mourinho is trying to mould him into a Matic type replacement if Matic gets injured. That's my own opinion on it. But Mark Denous here on Facebook saying, United have well and truly sold their soul to the devil for success. I understand it's a results business. However, something ain't right with United at the moment. Now, is that something that a lot of you agree with? It's something I would completely disagree with, Mark. You know, let me pull up the Premier League table for you now, Mark. Let's go football. Let's go Premier League table. Manchester United second. After 10 games in the Premier League, we have scored 23 goals. Only Man City have scored more. We've scored more than Spurs, scored more than Arsenal, scored more than Liverpool, who have apparently got the most attacking football in the Premier League. We scored 23 and we've only conceded 4 goals. No team has conceded less goals than Manchester United. We haven't sold our soul to the devil with Jose Mourinho. We've got a man who knows what the club needs right now. And what he is doing is what the club needs. It's like last year against Man City at Old Trafford. We tried to go toe-to-toe with Man City and we got spanked in the first half. Game was over at half-time. That didn't happen in the away leg. And let's see what happens in December. I think it's going to be a very different type of game against Manchester City, where you squeeze out the space and you hit them on a counter-attack. Know the teams you're playing against. But I do agree that Man United need to go for the jugular against lower teams a little bit more in the last couple of games. But we have done that early this season against Swansea, Crystal Palace, CSKA. If United were losing right now, I could understand a lot of frustrations from fans, but we're not. We're winning. And that's why I'm confused with any frustrations from United fans at Manchester United at the moment. And I'm confused with any comments from Jose Mourinho about effectively trying to pick a fight with United fans. That's it for today's show. As I said, it's a bit of a confusing one. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you all for joining in on YouTube and Facebook. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But let me know in the comments. Don't let this conversation die now. Get in the comments after the live show. I want to know what you think about this Jose Mourinho situation. Is he right? Is he wrong? Are the fans right? Are the fans wrong? Is anybody right or wrong in this situation? Let me know in the comments. I'll be here tomorrow with MUFC Daily and also with the preview for the Chelsea game at the weekend. Hopefully with Rory from Chelsea Fans TV. Until next time, take it easy.